Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar, What's New at PowerPhone. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Chris Salafia, President and CEO of PowerPhone.
Hey, thanks, Danielle, and good morning, everyone. We had really an amazing turnout today, and I promise we're going to pack as much information in as we can. But before Greg and Tara give you a glimpse kind of behind the PowerPhone curtain, I wanted to speak just a little bit about the state of things in 911. And, first and foremost, our thoughts and prayers are with all of those affected by Hurricane Ian, Lee County, Collier, Sarasota, Manatee. The devastation and loss of life was real, and it was heartbreaking. Like with many natural disasters, it always amazes me how public safety staff can put their own personal considerations aside and focus on the well-being of the public first. And also, a week ago yesterday, the Bristol, Connecticut Police Department lost 2 officers and a third was injured in a sinister and senseless act of violence. And that serves as a stark reminder that ensuring public safety can come with the ultimate and personal sacrifice. So we extend our deepest condolences to Chief Gould and the men and women of the Bristol PD on the loss of Officer Hamzy, Sergeant DeMonte, and we're very, very glad to hear that Officer Urato was released from the hospital. Now, we talk a lot in our leadership meetings about the state of 911, and it's a time of great innovation, but also fraught with challenges. I've been at PowerPhone now for nearly 30 years, and I don't know if I've seen the issues around staffing that we have today. It's not unusual for us to hear of 911 directors answering calls, and it seems like most of our clients are continually tasked with onboarding new staff in a timely fashion. But that said, we're also seeing more grant and other funding opportunities available. It's been very rewarding to finally see more attention being paid to 911, be it at the federal legislative level, mainstream media, and even big tech. The role of 911 in the emergency response chain is, I think, finally and certainly being recognized. Now, before I turn this over to the product team, I wanted to give you guys just kind of a quick company update. PowerPhone recently celebrated our 39th year of serving public safety. From humble beginnings of traveling the country, teaching dispatchers to save seconds and save lives, to today as a leading provider of emergency call handling software, we are incredibly proud and thankful for the small role we play in supporting 911. And along the way, we've celebrated a couple milestones. We just surpassed 500,000 students trained. The PowerPhone vernacular, such as the 5 Ws plus weapons plus hazards, has become embedded in state training curriculums nationwide. And also, don't forget, PowerPhone was the first company to introduce specific call handling protocols for police and fire dispatch. The industry is finally recognizing that it's not just about EMD, and that police and fire call handling can benefit as much from structured information gathering as can EMS. Now, I like to remind my staff that while we're nearly 40 years old, we do have a startup mentality. And like many startups, we're growing like crazy. In 2022 alone, we increased staffing by 20%, and nearly all of those positions were client-facing in our customer success and product teams. I love that because it allows us to foster deeper relationships with you, our customers. We now have literally hundreds of agencies using Total Response, from the United States Marine Corps and their bases around the world, to the Singapore Civil Defense Force, to 911 campus and airport command and control centers across the US. We are very, very thankful for the opportunity to help you help others. So with all that said, I'd like to again thank you all for your time today and turn this over to Greg Sheehan, our Vice President of Product. And Greg will be sharing some of what he and his team have been working on and what you guys can expect to see in the coming months. Greg, it's all yours.
Thank you, Chris. Welcome to everybody. And again, thank you for taking the time to join us today and learn a little bit more about what we've been working on. At PowerPhone, our product team has been busy making enhancements on 3 fronts. One thing I always appreciate about our customers at PowerPhone is how open you are with us. Every time we talk to you, from our customer success team to our support techs to our implementation managers, you always provide us with great feedback on what would make our products more effective. We've listened to you, and we have some new updates to share that deliver on things you've been asking for. Today, I'm going to give you a look at some updates to protocols and procedures we've been working on for Total Response, an upcoming release of our software with some new features that we're very excited to show you, and also talk about a brand new training course we'll be releasing. So let's dive in by taking a look at our new protocols and procedures. In the past year, we've heard from several agencies requesting that a protocol for officer down calls be added to our total response system. After working on this for several months in our protocol review committee, we've completed development on this protocol and put it through a rigorous review with subject matter experts in law enforcement. With their guidance, we've designed a protocol with focused questions that help you get the critical information you need to prepare responders, while alerts and instructions in the protocol make sure that callers and bystanders remain safe. Another increasingly common request we've heard is for a procedure that assists callers reporting a stuck accelerator in a vehicle they're either driving or riding in. PowerPhone now offers a procedure that helps you guide a caller through the steps of bringing a vehicle to a safe stop when the accelerator is stuck. Our protocol review committee is taking guidelines from automotive authorities and broken them down into a simple set of instructions. You'll have a procedure that uses plain language and simple directives designed to avoid confusing callers who might be in a panic state when they're talking to you. As you know only too well, there are other changes in the vehicles we drive that are impacting public safety. The number of electric and hybrid vehicles on the road is increasing every day. In 2021, sales of these vehicles doubled from the previous year, and 2022 is likely to see this trend continue, with new models being released by more and more manufacturers every day. We've already seen and heard about calls where an electric vehicle catches fire, for example, in a car accident. And we know that they burn extremely hot, sometimes as high as 4,900 degrees Fahrenheit. That means firefighters need a lot more water to extinguish these fires, and they need to be aware of these potential dangers to keep bystanders and responders safe. We're working with some of the leading experts in the field to modify our protocols to address these concerns. In our new update, we've already made changes to our motor vehicle accident and vehicle fire protocols, with new questions to gather the types of fuel involved so that this critical information can be relayed to responders. Our quality team is conducting the final review of these updates and several other enhancements that we're working on for protocols and procedures. These updates will be ready for release in November. For total response customers, we'll be working with you to schedule these updates as part of your maintenance and apply them to your system with no downtime. Total response SA customers will be able to get these content updates in early 2023 when a new version of that software will be available for download and installation. And speaking of total response, we've also been working on a new version of our software that will be released in November. Just like the feedback you gave us on our protocols and procedures, we've also listened to your requests for new features in our software. This new version delivers on things you've been asking for. We have new features that will give you more control over the call script that's sent from total response to your CAD system. Some enhancements to the response advisor that alert you to changes in our dispatch recommendations. And 2 new integrations designed to give you more tools and information when you're handling calls where seconds count. So as your responders rely more and more on information being sent to MDT screens, we've recognized that saving space on those screens is critically important. Sometimes the way questions are phrased on your call handler's screen is often too wordy when your responders are reading those same questions on their MDTs. In this new release, we've added the capability to create your own abbreviated version of any question that can be sent to the CAD system instead of the full questions your call handlers see on their screen. In the example you see here, for a question like, how old is the patient? You can define a much shorter version of that question that's quicker to read, like simply using the word age. While your call handlers will still see the full version of those questions on their screens in total response, your CAD system will receive the abbreviated version of the question that will be stored in the narrative in CAD. You can see in this example that our vital signs questions on a diabetic problems call have been significantly shortened, saving space on the screen and making them easier to scan for responders when they are en route to an incident. Plus, we're giving you even more control. You can now also exclude any question in our protocols from being sent to your CAD system to further shorten your narrative and save precious space. In some cases, certain questions might be an important part of the call record you create in Total Response, but are just not necessary to store in your CAD record. You can now simply block any question you want from being sent to CAD. We know that no two agencies are ever the same, and we've added these features to put you in control to make the best decisions to help meet your responders' needs. And here is the best part. These new narrative shortening features will not require any changes to your CAD's existing Total Response interface. They are fully backward compatible and will work immediately with your existing version of CAD. Another thing we've often heard from our users is that our Response Advisor bar, which alerts you to a dispatch recommendation, can be a little too quiet on the screen sometimes. Sometimes when you handle calls, you identify new conditions as you question callers that modify the recommended response in our system. We've now added alerts to the Response Advisor, designed to draw your attention to it when changes have been made to the dispatch recommendation. You can now also see at a glance what the status of the dispatch recommendation is, whether you've accepted it, rejected it, or if new changes need to be acknowledged. We're also very pleased to announce two new exciting integrations in Total Response. We've been working with PulsePoint to integrate their online AED registry into our system. Total Response can now automatically search their registry for nearby AEDs and provide you with links to maps and directions. PulsePoint's database also lets you know if a specific device has additional tools, such as a bleed control kit, naloxone, or epinephrine. So you have better information on nearby resources that can be used by bystanders. When you click on one of the links next to the AED results provided by PulsePoint, we use the Google Maps service to provide you with step-by-step walking or driving directions from the incident location you've captured in Total Response to the location of the AED. You can even use this service to send those directions to a caller or bystander's mobile phone for extra assistance in finding an AED in a time-critical situation. We're also very happy to announce that Total Response now features full integration with the What 3 Words geocoding system. If a caller provides you with a What 3 Words address, you can enter it into Total Response. Our system will return a location using OpenStreetMap data that can give you a street address, plus the latitude and longitude coordinates given to us by What 3 Words. This gives you another valuable tool to help pinpoint the location of callers who are in unfamiliar surroundings. We at PowerPhone are very excited to offer these new integrations, and you'll be seeing us integrate with more services like this in the near future. There are also several other nice surprises in this upcoming release, including an improved print template for our protocols. Now you can easily and quickly generate a complete copy of any protocol for backup purposes, or as a quick way to share them with medical directors or responders who might need to review them from time to time. Also, some very good news. You will soon be able to change the size of your fonts in the call handler module of Total Response. That's a big help to those of us who need a little extra assistance seeing the words on the screen, myself included. Another long-time request is finally here. We're now saving your preference for using either the keyboard or mouse to navigate through your protocols in Total Response. For those of you who like to use mouse mode, you'll no longer have to switch to it every time you log in. The system will remember it for you. There are also several other minor enhancements coming with this release, and we'll begin scheduling updates with agencies starting in November. Finally, Our training team has been hard at work building a new course on protocols and procedures in the total response system. This brand new course reviews the most frequently used protocols and procedures in our system in detail, reviewing why certain questions are asked in certain situations, how the answers to those questions can help you make decisions on what help to send, and which pre-arrival instructions should be given. This course covers protocols like assault, domestic disturbance, and mental health situations in detail. Plus, it gives you a step-by-step look at using our procedures for situations like choking victims, infectious disease screening, and naloxone administration. Our new protocols and procedures course will be released as part of our site license training offering in November. So those are some of the things our product team has been working on here at PowerPhone. And now I'm going to hand it off to Tara Millardo, our Vice President of Sales and Marketing at PowerPhone. Tara has a famous catchphrase she uses to start off almost every meeting. She always prefaces everything by saying, "There's a lot going on." And that's because she and her team are always working extra hard to take care of everyone in the PowerPhone family. And now she's going to tell you a little bit more about what's new with PowerPhone.
Thank you, Greg, for the introduction and the overview of the product updates, including our new protocol and procedure courses. I know your team has worked very hard to accomplish this, and thank you. I'm excited to talk about how our site license training works. But before I get into those details, I want to go over why we're moving in this direction. For decades, PowerPhone has been the leader in in-person training, and for more than 10 years, self-paced training. We've had students taking both in-person and self-paced training courses for years. And then COVID hit, which has changed everything. With COVID, the concept of in-person training and even having the staff to send to courses has been impossible and very challenging. Add the fact that turnover has continued to increase. It's been a problem since I began, 12 years ago. And it's even worse now. Now, agencies are not only having a hard time finding qualified telecommunicators, but once they do, they just hope they stay. We hear stories every day. I just actually heard about an agency that had more than half their staff leave in one day. Oh my gosh, what a crisis. Then once you hire someone, what do you do about their training? This is another quandary that everybody experiences. For years, we've heard agencies say they want to wait a few months before registering their new hires for our courses. They want to make sure they're going to stick. They don't want to pay for training if they're going to leave. And sometimes there's the question of having enough money, because it wasn't budgeted. We hear that time and time again. What if instead of having to wait to train new hires and wonder if there's enough funding, you didn't have to worry about that? You could just call PowerPhone and register them without an additional cost. What if you could start your new hires training immediately and maybe even help reduce their ramp-up time? That sounds pretty good, right? And what if you could provide unlimited training for current staff so they can brush up on skills and take courses anytime, anywhere? PowerPhone saw the trends and has answered the call by creating site license training. So what is this site license training? Site license training provides unlimited access to our complete training library for those agencies who participate in our annual service plan. Now, this is self-paced training. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And since it's offered 100% online in a self-paced interactive format, staff can take courses when it's convenient, any time of the day and anywhere. Travel is eliminated. Scheduling hassles are reduced, along with the headache of asking for more funds. We know what that's like for you all. Courses can be taken as needed, and the material can be reviewed at any time, as many times as desired. Students will have access to our new total response application training. This consists of courses that are focused on PowerPhone's patented approach to emergency call handling. It provides in-depth explanations of how to use the total response software. For years, we've had these requests for refresher training. Now it's part of this offering. Also, we will continue to have our certification courses in emergency medical dispatch with the TCPR, law enforcement, and fire service dispatch to satisfy your agency certification needs and state requirements. And of course, PowerPhone's course library includes continuing education. Its content and topics that are relevant to telecommunicators and their administrators. As Greg mentioned, we are also including the additional training to focus on the use of specific protocols and procedures. This is all for one fixed annual price and is available for current staff and new hires. We simplified access and budgeting for all of your training and certification needs. Many agencies have already taken advantage of this new offering, and they really love the program, especially that total response application training's really helped. Now, as we're making improvements, we are continuing to improve our customer experience. We have always prided ourselves in taking care of you, our customers. You are the ones, the first responders. Yet we wanted to improve it and improve the actual customer's experience itself. So PowerPhone has done several things. First, we created a dedicated team called our Customer Success Team. They're here to help each agency meet their call handling needs, including how to better capitalize on the use of the total response software. Our customer success representatives are assigned to various states and are here to help you. And they're excellent. They are just doing an amazing, amazing job. We have also created channels for feedback, including your recommendations for protocols and procedures. We created a group called the PPRC, PowerPhone's Protocol Review Committee. It was created to really help streamline recommendations. It's a committee comprised of subject matter experts as well as leaders within PowerPhone that discuss, research, and determine the direction of content in the total response software. Now, this is based off of the standards and trends in the industry, customizations that we make with some of our different agencies, and also feedback from our customers. Now, the members of the PPRC represent hundreds of years of experience working in and with public safety. Experience ranges from on-scene responders in fire, medical, and the police arena, commanding 911 centers, handling 911 calls in a whole array of centers, and includes full medical oversight. Now, we genuinely understand that each agency is different and needs the ability to customize protocols and processes to meet their needs. We understand that one size doesn't fit all. If there's something that your agency is looking to improve in your protocols and/or process, please call us. We are here to help. Now, we wanted to do more. So what else we've been doing is we are doing more to support you in the use of total response. We have launched our Total Response 101 webinar series. Maybe some of you have already participated in that. These are webinars that review tips, tricks, and best practices in the use of total response. This is in place to help you, the customer, adopt the use of total response. It's free to all customers, and we highly recommend that you participate and your staff does as well. We've had really positive feedback on those sessions, and we're going to continue to do those. To help continue to train within the industry, we are going to continue to offer educational events. We've already been doing several of these, and we'll continue to do this. Some of the topics that we have covered include responding to an active shooter, more than just EMD, the power of positive QA, and how to create a protocol provider. We will continue, as I said, to host these webinars. We love doing them. I'd like to wrap this up by saying every day, everyone here at PowerPhone comes to work to help improve 911. We're all very passionate about what we do and our mission. Our total response solution is based on technology that empowers 911 professionals to turn information into action and gives every agency an opportunity to breathe new life into how agencies manage their calls. We know the responsibilities are greater than ever before. The demands are greater than ever before, and we are here to help. Call us.